That sounded.
Yeah, not sure what happened there.
That was really weird.
I have a new cable, and this happened to me at Scott Johnson's place. Hold on, let me test something.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Get more
Had it in the
at
wrong folder.
frogpants.com.
Oh, you were getting the bleed over.
Yep, that's my fault.
Oh, it
Let's see, does
sounded
this
kind of
work
like
now too? Yeah.
totally sounded like a horror, like Funhouse.
Oh, good.
Awesome. I hope that worked well.
Yeah, that was great. Good job on the research for the DIUX. That was fantastic.
Tinder. Oh, hypersuits. Oh, I get it. Hypersuits. Can you arm me now?
Stop blowing up my text messages, Justin Robert Young, Brian Brushwood, and Garrett Weinzierl.
Titles: Tinder for Pentagon, Shark Tank: DOD. Get it? You pitch to the Shark Tank, but it's just like it should be Shark Tank Pentagon Edition. Can you arm me now? It's like ties in the arm with SoftBank with this main story.
Can you arm me now? Good.
All water on Earth has been peed in. It's true, it has. Playing the hyper card. Go to the bathroom. I'm thirsty. Ha! It's funny. Gross but funny. The Pentagon is the new Pied Piper. Allusion to Silicon Valley. All hype and no loop. It's pretty funny. The Internet of Arms. SoftBank's arms. Oh, we did something like that before. DIUX is the Tinder for the Pentagon. DOD wants some Bezos. That sounds kind of dirty. Pentagon X. I like Tinder for Pentagon or Shark Tank, but I would change it instead of DOD. I would say change it to Pentagon Edition.
I like Tinder for Pentagon.
Okay.
Tinder for the Pentagon. That one works for me. I'm also trying to get these.
Cranked out.
Well, I'm trying to replace the Frog Pants and Diamond Club things that didn't work.
Bezos.
You say Bezos and I say Bezos.
He kind of reminds me of Harry Shearer if you shaved Harry Shearer's head. Like if he was bald. Bezos does. They should do a movie called Rocket Man where it does like it's a little documentary of how Bezos and Musk are like striving to become like space entrepreneurs.
Space entrepreneurs.
Also, I think Amazon should implement some sort of quasi-military rank system like they do in Scientology. You have like at the CEO has epaulets and like little like ribbons and medals for the best CEO ever award.
I like it, man. I'm not even joking. I like it.
It's because I was watching this thing on the secret history of Scientology music, and I thought it was the funniest thing. And they had the picture of the Sea Org thing.
Oh god, it's so funny. The Sea Org is the best.
Like, where do you get that? Who makes that? I mean, like, do they sell it to civilians? Like uniforms?
Yeah,
Like that?
you can buy uniforms. There's a uniform shop right down the street from me. You know, costume shop.
I would want it like a red jacket, kind of like the usher at a movie theater. But black cuffs, black lapel, epaulets.
Like Grand Admiral Thrawn. Oh wait, no, he wore white, didn't he?
I thought he wore black.
Oh yeah, no, maybe he did. So cover for me. I'm going to try to fix this.
Okay, so
people in the audio stream will likely hear me trying to fix it.
wait,
And I
have you
apologize.
seen the movie The Master? Wait, which one? Which movie's The Master, Shane? Like I remember the ABC show The Master, where the old white guy played like a ninja. It was really hokey. And the martial arts were kind of non-existent. Let me see, The Master movie. Let me see, fun things I've done. Wait, It's the one from 2012, starring Joaquin Phoenix, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Amy Adams. Veteran struggling to adjust to post-war society, a leader of a religious movement known as the Cause. Interesting. No, I haven't seen it. I'll have to watch it. I'll have to watch it. I've just been watching documentaries instead of actual movies, real movies. I think part of it is because I like knowing about people's real people, but like kind of the real history behind things. One of the best ones I saw was the Source, or the Source family. It was like this new agey cult that was started by this ex-Marine.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was on Netflix, and it was a very interesting, fascinating story. This guy was a Korean War veteran, and he was in the Marine Corps, and he basically kind of somehow fell into and established this cult based on him.
How do you fall into a cult based on yourself?
Well, it's like, like you it's like when you get enough people who surround, like, I wouldn't say groupies, but hanger-ons and stuff, eventually something.
Entourage.
Yeah, it just kind of coalesces. Like if enough of hanger-ons around you started, creating
Like the merit militia.
Yeah, they would have your beard and glasses and everything.
Oh, that's frightening. The merit militia shirt alone frightened me, and now I get what you're talking about. We're coming to Tomtown.
Shane's I did not know Shane made documentaries.
He is. He's a documentarian.
Oh.
I believe, and I hope I'm not overstating it, I believe Shane is an award-winning documentarian.
Oh, even better. It's better than those non-award-winning ones. PhilipShane.com. Well,
Yeah, man,
I am sorry that I've been so ignorant of your work, Shane. Sure, someone's told me, but somehow I'm probably... Oh, Being Elmo. Nice. Wingspan, Dancing in Java. The Promised Land. Revolution. Last the First. Andrews. I've always wondered, Shane, how do you exactly pick the matter, or like the content or the story you want to do? Is it based on suggestions, or is it something that you have an idea and like, I really want to do this? I think I did see Elmo. It's been a while though. Yeah, I think I saw it when it came out on Netflix. I think I watched it maybe a couple of years ago or a year ago. Sometimes I've hired others I pitch. Others I have suddenly access to. It's pretty cool. Documentary. I like being Episcopalian. I've always wanted to do a documentary on the life and times of Tech TV, but like all the sordid details that no one ever hears about.
Like how Tom Merritt and Eileen Rivera hooked up.
Oh, that's the tame stuff. I'm talking about how everyone else hooked up. all the crazy parties and shenanigans. Lots of shenanigans. It's kind of funny because it reminds me a little bit of how a lot of the early Silicon Valley companies, when they got started, and they were staffed with people under the age of 30. There was a lot of this, there's a lot of the same mindset. Energetic, young, attractive people hanging out with other energetic, young, attractive people.
Docudramaries. The camel of documentaries.
Yes. It's a documentary based, a documentary by committee, or maybe a documentary of a committee. Dun, 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 dun. What other great stories would there be? I know there's a short one on, I don't know, unless you live in the San Francisco Bay Area, you might not know that on Tuesdays, every time around noon, at noon, there's a civil emergency test that goes on, and someone did a short documentary on it, and they put it up on YouTube. But I was hoping to do a longer, more in-depth one on that. Yes, I have seen Going Clear. My wife loves, for some reason, she loves anything on Scientology because she thinks it's just so kooky.
I'll
And so
start giving her my mailings.
I told her that you get it. She's like, "Oh my god, it's so funny."
I haven't gotten a magazine in a while though. Those are usually the best ones.
Have they gone online? Have they done
I don't
online?
know. That's a good question.
Maybe they have to offline you to online you. Use our check your Thetan apps. I'm amazed they don't make that. It's like a little attachment for your
Like a
iPhone.
Google Maps thing.
Oh, catch your Thetans. They could totally repurpose the Pokemon app.
Thetanmon.
Can you imagine you just basically put it in front of someone and suddenly all these Thetans appear around someone's head?
They're real. I told you. All right, I'm uploading now. Everything should sound better on the audio version. Apologies, video people. I'm sorry. It's my fault.
I don't think she has. She just saw the documentary. There was she's been really into this YouTube channel we just found a couple of weeks ago called This Exists. It's out of Toronto, but this guy basically covers all these things that have or did exist. For example, I never knew about vaporwave until like last week.
What's
it's like,
vaporwave?
wait a minute. Vaporwave is a styling of music based on remixing essentially what is commercial, somewhat branded kind of elevator-esque or APM style kind of music, and then
What's
remixing
APM style?
APM. So basically, any licensed music you get from APM or something that's bed music,
like bed music. Got it.
bed music stuff, and turning it into a kind of more of a trancey electronica form music.
So
and
taking elevator music and making trance out of it? Is that roughly it?
kind of, but you also have to mix it with the right visuals. So
Okay.
when it first started, it was something called it was, at least the way I understand it, came out of something called sea punk. So basically mixing
Sea shanties?
basically mixing all the visuals of the 90s internet kind of era where you had like, you remember when you used to paste crap on your website, like dancing palm trees and
Okay,
dolphins
right.
and stuff like that, kind of integrating that along with the music into that. And it's funny because they gave a very interesting example of when what's her name? Who was the one who was married to, not Bobby Brown, Chris Brown?
Oh, Whitney Houston?
No, was it Chris Brown?
Bobby Brown was Whitney Houston, sorry.
Yeah, Chris Brown. The one, Chris Brown. See, I'm so bad with names. I wish I was just better. Was Chris Brown? Does anyone know what's her name? You know what? Let me just search for C Punk, and then SNL. Rihanna.
Oh,
Rihanna.
Rihanna. Okay, yeah.
So
I knew
remember
that.
Rihanna was on SNL and she did like "Shine Like a Diamond" song, and then
Okay.
they had that weird kind of, everyone was saying that's like weird Windows 95 screensaver like video on top of. Well, that was an example of
C-Punk.
that was C-Punk.
Okay.
And then Katy Perry doing the dancing sharks with the trees as part of her videos with the beach balls and stuff. That's also kind of a take on C-Punk, which was a thing that was big for like half a year. And that's the thing, these things, these memes, they're not memes, but these movements aren't very particularly long. Like they don't go back decades. They're relatively recent, maybe as far back as 2008, 2010. But it's really fascinating. And so there's an offshoot of vaporwave, which is just like that, where you take 80s, 90s internet kind of visuals and you mix it with the kind of music, and that's called Simpson Wave, where you do the same thing with the same music, except you use Simpsons clips from the Simpsons TV show.
I love all of this.
It's fascinating. That's what I love. It's like, what? My mind was totally blessed. Like, okay, Rihanna makes sense.
Oh, and BioCal, by the way, on the lag, BioCal was already saying, what about Simpson Wave? So there are fans. Daily Tech C-Punk.
I just love this stuff. That's why I used to read 40 in Times all the time.
Yeah. Well, 40 in Times was good. I remember them.
And Omni.
It's actually how I got started reading Boing Boing. They used to cover more of that. They still cover some, but... All right. That is it for this episode, this early episode of Daily Tech News Show. Thank you all for joining us. We will see you at the regular time tomorrow, but from Orlando.